Hi everyone. So I was 13 when my parents bought me my first guitar, and I began having lessons at my local school. But unfortunately, after just 2 lessons, my school guitar teacher actually passed away. So the guitar that I just bought and could barely play went back home with me and just sat in the corner of my room, pretty much neglected. But I was still determined that I was going to play guitar. So my parents helped me to find a new teacher, and after a few more lessons, that new guitar teacher actually moved to the other side of the world, to Australia. So once again, I was left without a teacher, and my guitar just went back home and sat in the corner of my room. So things really changed for me when I actually broke my leg, because when I broke my leg, I couldn't do a lot of the things that I used to do in my free time. I couldn't do sports and things like that. So the guitar that was sitting in the corner of my room came back out, and I started to practice and play a lot more. I even got a new teacher who sort of stuck around for a little bit longer as well. And a few years later, I moved to Coventry, where I began studying geography, of all things, at the university. And it was here that I met Harry, John, and Alex, and we formed the Ellipsis, and we started gigging up and down the country. And when I graduated, I guess I had a choice to make. I could either go and apply for lots of graduate jobs and move away from the city, or I could stay and continue playing with the band. And really, I loved music so much, and I loved performing with the band, that I decided that I was going to remain. I was going to stay in Coventry, and I was going to work with this band. But to remain in Coventry, I had to get a job. So for the next 2 years, I worked for 40 hours a week in an office, and all of my free time I spent gigging and playing with the band. But despite this, there was still something that was missing. When I came home, my guitar was still pretty much sitting neglected in the corner of my room. I wasn't really doing any songwriting or practicing by myself. Everything was sort of either the band or busy with work. So it became very clear to me that I needed to make a change. Initially, my plan was very simple. I was just going to quit work, I was going to move out of my house, I was going to couch surf, and I was just going to write and play music all of the time. I pitched this idea to my parents, and they were very supportive and pointed out a pretty big flaw in my plan. They pointed out I'd probably spend more time looking for a place to sleep than I would actually doing what I set out to do, which was to write and play music. So it became very clear to me that I needed my own home and I needed transport. So for the next 6 months, I saved up all the money that I could, and I sold most of my possessions, and I bought myself a VW camper van, which I now call my home. So I've been living in the van now for just under a year, and it's great. I'm probably like the happiest I've been since leaving my actual home with my parents, and I play music all of the time. I can sing and write all of the time. I have no Wi-Fi, no computer, no TV for distraction, and my guitar has now become the absolute centerpiece of my home. So this song, Wasted Potential Me, really sort of encapsulates what music has meant to me throughout my life. It's sort of that idea that I never want to be the wasted potential version of myself, that I didn't want to look back in 10 years' time and regret that I'd never kind of given that music thing a shot, that I'd never sort of focused all my energies on what I was passionate about. So all I'd ask is that while you listen to us play this song for you, just have a think about your home, the people and the things within it, and just think if you have an idea or a dream or something that's sitting in the corner of your home with its potential going to waste.
Well, you might call me lazy. Well, I'd have to disagree. You might say I've lost focus. Well, it doesn't sound like me. I never want to be wasted potential me. Never want to be wasted potential me. Don't know how this happened. The Joker's gone too far. 'Cause all I want is music, played out from guitar. I never want to be wasted potential me. I never want to be wasted potential me. Never want to be wasted potential me. I never want to be wasted potential me.
Thank you.